Hello and welcome to the next Lukozer retro game review video, and for this one, well, it's a game that quite a few people would think is long overdue. However, if you are not familiar with it, then the fact that it starts on the main menu here well, may mean that it's not instantly recognisable, but I have skipped all of the intro cutscenes and all that guff because I just can't be asked to sit there and watch them. And there are plenty of videos that show them, so you know, you can always go and watch one of those. But this is Syndicate, which was written by Bullfrog and published by Electronic Arts in 1993. And one of the reasons why I wouldn't say I kept putting off doing the review, one of the reasons why I haven't done it up until now is because I still play this relatively often, but I play the PC version, which I have on Origin, and because of that it doesn't really feel like a retro game, but there's no doubt it is. Like everybody, I think back in the day, I did have this, and yeah, I was quite a fan. Now I'm playing this on an Amiga 1200, which I did back in the day. I mean, 93, I only had the 1200, I'd already sold me 500. But yeah, so purely out of habit, purely out of the fact that I only know this from my 1200 days, I am now playing this on an Amiga 1200, but I'm fairly sure that it will run on an Amiga 500. It probably needs at least 1 meg of RAM, but I'm pretty sure it will run. Anyway, well, let us start then by configuring our company, our particular syndicate. So you can change the background colour and your particular logo. For some reason I used to always stick with white, but in the case of this we'll stick with red because it looks a bit more left wing, especially red with the hammer. Right, so my name. Right, what company name then? Well, let's do something that you would expect from me, so we are the Cunts. Right, so let's start the game. Now let's go on the assumption then that you're new to this. So we start then with this map, which is divided into 50 regions, 49 of which are various regions around the world, and the 50th one is this one, the Atlantic Accelerator. Now back in the day, yes, I did have this game. I didn't complete it though, because I could not complete this level here, the Atlantic Accelerator. It was fucking difficult. That's exactly what I thought. But anyway, that's way down the line. What I'll do a couple of levels. Yeah, the first two levels. Then I'll load up my saved game for this version. I haven't got very far in it, and yeah, so you can get an idea of how to start and then what it's like once you have made a little bit of progress, and I do mean a little. So alright, well, to begin with then, there is only one mission area, which is Western Europe. So we're basically trying to take over half of an entire continent. So we'll head to the mission briefing. I'll tell you now, there is an awful lot of disk accessing with this game, or at least to begin with. It does get better. There's quite a lot of the game is held in memory, which is very handy indeed. So here we are then, the mission brief for mission 1, mercenary camp assassination. Intelligence reports have indicated that an army colonel is stealing resources from your weapons division and using them to equip his mercenaries. His base has been set up just outside one of our cities, and the populace have reported disturbances caused by his troops. Your squad will be deployed near the entrance to the camp. Their objective is to eliminate the colonel. All pretty straightforward stuff. Now, here then, 30,000, that's how many credits you have. That's in total for everything. You can buy more information from the briefing. It will cost you 100. I think it goes up each time you buy more, so you can get more and more and more if you really want to. Likewise, you can also enhance the map. That's what this thing here is. This is, I think that's showing where you start, and that's showing where the colonel will actually appear from. Now, I can't remember for sure because I never bother buying additional info or enhancing the map. But I think if you do buy additional info, it will tell you that when the colonel realises he is in danger, he will try to flee the scene in like a getaway car that he has. Don't worry about that, you'll sort him out, no problem. So anyway, we'll accept that and we'll head to our team selection. So yes, you have 4 agents which you have activated from your cryo chamber. There are another 4 available to you. All the rest of the slots are empty. You can recruit other agents though. We'll cover that when that moment comes. And then there is the various equipment for each of the 4 agents. Yeah, okay, they are going to need weapons. So at the moment we have the pistol, the shotgun, a scanner, a med kit, and this thing here called the Persuadertron. Again, I'll explain that. Actually, I'll explain that in the next mission because I will need to use it in the next one. For this mission, I don't need it. In fact, for this mission, even though you always have to take 4 agents, I only use 1. So we'll give this one a shotgun. So that costs 250. Pistols don't cost anything, so yeah, it costs 0. So even though my agent here doesn't actually need it, I might as well keep it for the moment. Now there are also mods available for each of your agents, which are like cybernetic enhancements. If you improve their legs, so it allows them to move faster. Improve the arms, I think it yeah, allows carrying of heavier items. I think it also improves some other aspect which I can't remember. Chest improves like your hit points, so you know you can take more damage before your agent is killed. The heart, that I'm trying to remember what that one does now actually. I think that improves the rate at which adrenaline is produced. That we don't need to worry too much about that to begin with, but later on that does become important. Eyes, well, surely you don't need me to explain what that will do, but yes, it improves your vision and how well you can see all around you. And then the brain improves response time, which improves how fast you fire, and I think also how accurately you can fire. So you can fit any of these onto each of your agents. Again, for the first few levels I don't bother because they're not important. So that's the equipment and the mods. I've also shown you the team. And then you have the research option here, which allows you to research, believe it or not, extra weapons, new weapons, or improvements to each of the mods that are available. Now, researching mods is quite expensive, so legs, the minimum funding 4,440, maximum funding is 444,000. Arms actually is the same. The chest is more expensive. Heart is even cheaper. So are the eyes. And so is the brain. Okay. But they're still a lot more expensive than researching new equipment. I always research new equipment first. So if we research new automatic weapon, which will actually result in us getting the Uzi, which is quite a handy weapon to have. So we'll click on research there. Now you can choose to either add or remove funding. If you check the graph here, this is telling us the time in days that it will take to reach 100% researched, and once it is 100% researched, we can then use that weapon in whatever mission we deem fit. So with 96 funding, it will take 10 days. That's 10 game days. Game time goes by very, very quickly. I always like to increase funding by 1 click. Each time you add extra funding, it decreases the time that it will take by, I think it halves it. Which means that as you get to times like here, so now it's going to take just shy of 2 days, add more funding, and it will now take, well, 1.5 days, and more and more and more until it only takes 1 day. I personally think that's a complete waste of credits. I find that 1 click so that it will take 5 days to research is always plenty. You don't need to spend too much on research. Okay, after the first couple of missions, you will still have a bit of time to wait for each new item that's being researched, but yeah, from about mission 3 onwards, if you have it set for 5 days, the thing will be ready and waiting for you when you've completed your 1 mission. So there's no need to spend more to reduce the time even further. In fact, in some missions later on, you can just leave it at the 10, and you know it'll be there waiting for you when you finish. There are 2 automatic weapons to research. I can't remember how many heavy assault or miscellaneous there are. So the next automatic weapon, the one that's going to be researched here once I click accept, that will be an Uzi, as I said. The second time you do it, it's a minigun. With the heavy, the first thing it gets you is a flamethrower. I can't remember after that. Then the assault weapons, I think something is one of them is a time bomb, another is the Gauss gun, which is very handy. But yeah, that's a little way down the line. So right, we have our 1 agent equipped. The rest I've left completely at stock. This 1 agent is equipment consists of a shotgun. That is all you need for mission 1. The first mission is ludicrously easy. So we'll accept it and we wait for it to load. That loaded very quickly, but that's because a lot of this is already in memory. So anyway, to move around the game, you select which agent you want to move, or if you want to move them all together, click on the bar here and they all move together. But for this particular mission, we only need to send 1 bloke in. So you just left click where you want to go, right click to fire, but you do have to select your particular weapon. Okay. So we'll he's dropped a pistol. It looks like he has something else there as well, extra ammo. Okay, well, this building here is where the Colonel is hiding out. So what we will do is, well, let's wait for him. He knows we're around. There he is.
Mission completed.
And as you just heard, mission completed, because I've just blown the fuck out of him. Now we can press space and exit here and take us to the mission debriefing, but instead I'm gonna hang around just a little bit longer, because this bloke over here, he has an Uzi on him, and if you can take the Uzi, it will speed up the research time. So there we go, we've got the Uzi there. So now we'll press space and it will load up this cutscene. This cutscene, you always see this whenever you've completed a mission. So yes, I suppose it does look pretty good, but So mission debriefing, yep, completed in 20 hours 2 days. I don't know why it shows it like that. It should say 2 days 20 hours, so that's fucked up. It always irritated me, that. Yeah, so there's all the stats there, and as you can see, new weaponry has been submitted to the research department, and because I did that mission so quickly, the new weapon is not yet available to me. So we now control Western Europe, and if you select a territory on the map here that you control, you can then set the tax level, which is how many credits you get from that region each. I don't know if it's each day or each, I think it is each day, and you can adjust it any way you like, so you can raise it or lower it. I never bother changing it because I find I always have enough credits anyway, so I don't bother with that. If you do increase it, then the stat as far as how happy the population are, that will go down, and if they get extremely unhappy, they will rebel against your rule, and then you have to go back and sort them out. It's a novelty to begin with, but it starts to become a bit irritating because you're constantly having to go back and sort out your own areas that you control rather than taking over new regions. So that's one of the reasons, or another of the reasons, why I always leave the tax rate at 30%. So anyway, we can now head to the next level, which is Scandinavia, and check the briefing on this one, which again we have to wait for it to load up. So here we are then, the mission brief. The Milk Run, personnel acquisition. 2 notable scientists are both staying in a small hamlet close to one of our research complexes. They would obviously be a great help to our R&D boys. Your squad has instructions to persuade both the scientists to join our reputable organisation. Yes, persuade, so that means using the Persuadatron. So let's head to back here. Let's get rid of these fucking superfluous pistols. We'll reload the shotgun. Before I do any of that, I want to check out the looks like the Uzi has been finished. Let's just go back. Oh yes, it has. There we go, Uzi is now available. Right, in which case, I'll go back to research the next automatic weapon, which is the minigun. Yeah, I do like the minigun, so I definitely want that one done. So, right, that is set, so 5 days that will be available. Right, so we now need the Persuadatron. So we'll give all of our agents one of those. We'll also give all of our agents a couple of Uzis each. And yeah, he's already got a shotgun. We'll give him each a shotgun. Now when you are controlling all 4 agents, yep, that's all okay. Right, again, I won't bother fitting any modifications to them yet because they don't need it for this mission. So now, here we go. Now yes, if you have all agents selected, once you select the Persuadertron there, because they all have one, they will all use it. So what you do, you walk up to any of the general public. The Persuadertron basically brainwashes them and they will now follow you around. Once you have persuaded, I think it's 5, maybe 6 members of the public, you can then start persuading the like local police. The police will use weapons to attack enemies when you open fire. So having the police on your side is quite handy. Once you have, I think it's 5 or 6 police, then if you're in an area which have enemy agents, you can then start persuading the enemy agents. If you persuade them, they will then be placed in the cryo unit and you can then select them for missions. So if you've like had some of your agents killed, they will then come along, you know, you can use them, select them and have them sorting you out. So as you've seen, I've just persuaded 1, now 2 of the local police. So now if I do come under fire, which I will at some point, the police will also shoot the enemies for me. Now, this building here is where one of the people I need to persuade will be found, but he's not there yet because I first of all have to come to this place, and you'll notice that there are 3 guards outside. One of those guards has an Uzi, one of them has a shotgun. In fact, I think the other 2 have shotguns. So we need to deal with these guards. So right, as soon as we take out our weapons, they usually start firing at us. Right, so that's him down, and that cunt's out of range. Not now. Right, so we'll now switch back to the Persuadertron. He's carrying a pistol, he's got the shotgun, he has the Uzi. Right, well, we'll take the Uzi because that's handy. Right, so that's been got. Actually, we'll take this shotgun here. Now this is the only sort of area where it does start to get a bit tricky because we have to enter the building but we can't see inside the building. So we know the guy we have to persuade is in here, but we got to try and find him. Don't know if we have got him yet. We have. Right, so now we have to go to the second building, this one. So we've got quite a bit of a procession happening now. The only problem with that is that at the end of this level we have to go to a point where we need to be extracted, the evacuation point, and yeah, it's not just us who has to, you know, not just the agents that have to go there, but the 2 scientists that we're supposed to be persuading have to go there as well. So right, that's him persuaded. So you can see now it's saying evacuate. We now have to return to the extraction point, which for this level is basically where we started. But we've got to make sure that those two scientists are there with us as well. So let's make our way down here and hope that actually I just thought, why did I do that? I really didn't want to have yet more people in this fucking great procession of ours. Alright, let's just wait for everyone to catch up, and hopefully that's all of them. Obviously you can see here the mini map. And yeah, we'll have to be inside this red circle. The 4 agents and the 2 scientists that we've come here to recruit.
Mission completed.
There we go. Right, so mission is completed. Don't need to hang around anymore. We'll just head straight to the debriefing. So we get this screen again, which I'll now skip. So this took us 7 hours and 5 days, which should hopefully mean that the minigun has been yeah, has actually been completed in the research department. And well, I mean, this basically is the game. Just head to the briefing for this one. I think this is another assassination mission, but this is one where you have to kill enemy agents. Yes. Combat sweep. So yes, kill all enemy agents. There's only 4 in the area. Looks like the research hasn't finished yet. So I'm going to have to wait a bit to use the minigun. Except I won't. What I will do is load my saved game, so you can skip a couple of missions. And I do only mean a couple. Like I say, I've not made a hell of a lot of progress, but I have got a bit further than here. So my next mission then is the Urals. So you can see I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, so 5. So yeah, I really wasn't joking when I said I haven't made that much progress. So wait for this one to load up. Right, so this is another combat sweep, but this one is rather more tricky than that one that I've just skipped. An enemy syndicate has been experiencing problems with the population of a nearby city. Couldn't have put it better myself. This is mainly due to subversive techniques from our espionage department. So we've already been giving the enemy a bit of grief. As a result of this, the enemy syndicate has pulled out most of its forces from the surrounding area, and the city has fallen open for us to take. Your squad is to conduct a reconnaissance sweep of the area to clear out any enemy syndicate agents remaining inside city limits before returning to the pickup point. All sounds pretty simple. So as you can see, I've already stocked up on weapons for this agent, but no one else. So this agent has 1, 2, 3, 4 miniguns, 2 Uzis and a shotgun, as well as the Persuadertron. This is where realism does rather nosedive somewhat. You'll notice a new day has started, so my available credits has just shot up. I'm sure many of you have seen in either films or videos or whatever how big a minigun is. It really is the ultimate misnomer calling it a minigun. This person here is carrying 4 of them. Yeah. So anyway, so if we go to the research, I'm already researching a heavy weapon. It's the first heavy weapon, so it will be the flamethrower. Still got a bit of time to go. But yes, it will be the it will be the flamethrower once that is done. What I will do is we'll sell back 2 miniguns so that I'll sell back 3 so that then all of my agents can have 1 minigun each. They are not cheap, they're 10,000 each. Right, we'll also give them each a couple of Uzis. And okay, I think we'll also give them each 1 shotgun. You don't need to fill up this like the weapons bar here, because as you've seen, you can pick up weapons from the people you kill during the level. It's also explain things like, okay, the med kit, you don't need that to be explained, surely. If you do, what is wrong with you? They are 1-shot deal though, you can only use them once, but they will return you to full health no matter what your health is at. The scanner, what that basically does is it improves how well you can see within the mini-map. You've already had a look at it. You can see like the dots will appear when anyone turns up. With the scanner, the dots show different colours to indicate whether they are members of the public, whether they are the local police, or if they're enemy agents, and also your own agents. That is about all it does. I think it's a waste of time, really. I never bother with it. I can read the minimap perfectly well without it. Now that I've said that, you watch as I absolutely fuck up this attempt. I think I might need some mods though here. So right, well, she's got improved hit points, but now I don't have enough credits to fit them on any of the others. Oh well. Right, off we go. Once it's loaded. Here we are. Now, let's use everybody. Because I can't remember where the agents are. It's a fairly small area. No, it isn't. It's just that we've started right at the top instead of okay, I'll tell you what, let's just take the first agent then. So they will come down here eventually once they've figured out how to get down there. There we go. I think I might start using some... Where the fuck has he gone? Okay, there's an enemy agent there. Use them all. Oh, fuck's sake. Wonder if I actually... there we go. Finally selected the right one. Okay. So, all of our agents have now got their miniguns out on... a lot of them are now wasting ammo. mode still only using Uzis. Okay, fuck it, right. Another agent there. Right, it's gone. Another agent. I like to actually use the Persuadertron a bit, except I can't now. Because if you have the oh, that's it. Right, now we just got to piss off again. Get back up here.
Mission completed.
There we go. Well, that was a lot easier than I thought. I'm just pissing off straight away. Yes, I like to persuade a lot of the members of the public around there because I use them as human shields. Although I got away with that one. I don't know how I did it, but I did. So now that we have basically taken over the whole of Europe, we now have a choice. We can go to Siberia, or Mongolia, or Kazakhstan. I can't remember which one is the easier one, so let's check the brief for Siberia. Another combat sweep. An up-and-coming town has just attracted the attention of head office as being a very promising base for our marketing boys to experiment with. It is occupied and defended by several Syndicate squads, and obviously we cannot move in until they are removed. Your squad must sweep through the city and wipe out all trace of the enemy scum. Yeah, fuck it, I'll do that one. Right, well, I can sell some of my excess Uzis. Yeah, sell that one as well. Now I need to reload each of our weapons. You can see the minigun is certainly not too bad as far as the hard ammo goes. There's plenty of ammo on them. Right, before I do anything else, I want to make sure the research... Fucking hell. Still researching this fucking flamethrower. So, well, in that case, let's mod this guy. So now I will have 2 of my 4 agents are able to take more hits. And right, off we go. We'll use the Persuadertron. Everyone will use their Persuadertron. Get ourselves some meat shields. So let's get on with the review then. The presentation I think is superb. It is really well done. It's although I do keep skipping a lot of the cutscenes and that, they do look really good. They look digitized, although they're clearly not. So yeah, I'm quite impressed with the way the game is presented, particularly with the fact that you can skip the cutscenes. So many games, even back in the day, you couldn't skip the cutscenes at all. You had to fucking sit through them all the time, so they would get extremely tedious. Oh, I thought I'd oh fuck it, I'm not going back after her. So yeah, a lot of the time you would have to sit through the cutscenes all the time, which got fucking tedious and fucking boring very quickly. But no such problem here. You could just skip them whenever you wanted, which I like. Graphics, I think the graphics are pretty good. I mean, these are not AGA. That's not the reason why I'm playing this on a 1200. So when you consider the limitations, well, sort of limitations, this Amiga has with the, I think is it 16 colours with the OCS chipset, I think the graphics look great. I am quite impressed. I was impressed with them back in the day, and I'm still impressed with them now. I just think they're great. Audio, the audio is somewhat sparse, but works well. The weapon effects sound good. When you get to finally use the flamethrower, and also later on when you use the Gauss rifle or Gauss gun, the screams of the people as they are all sort of running around on fire is yeah, that's certainly impressive. It sounds really good. So yes, if you're a bit of a sadist, you'll certainly like that. And the gameplay, I think the gameplay is fucking superb. No other way of putting it. It's a sort of hybrid between strategy and a shoot 'em up game. You would never actually describe Syndicate as a shoot 'em up, as here come the enemy agents. No, he didn't last long. Oh, he's got a minigun. Definitely fucking have that. So is this gun here. So it looks like all the enemy agents now are going to have miniguns. So we'll take that one. Very handy. Alright. So that's the first couple of agents down. Oh, plenty more to come though. So yes, I think the gameplay is spot on. I thought for a moment some of my men were going to get run over. Those cars will run you over if they're going too fast. Again, I'm okay with that. It just adds to the realism. Let's face it, this is not one of those family-friendly games. This isn't some fucking poxy fucking Rainbow Islands bollocks. You know, there's no fucking cutesy bullshit here, and there's no one fucking picking up bits of fruit. Again, where'd that enemy agent go? Right, well, that didn't go according to plan. Fucking, who's the cunt who's firing at us? I can't see him. Oh, well, there you go. All of my agents killed. Now, what's well, first of all, have the new cutscene that you haven't seen yet. Just wait for that to load up. That's the mission failed cutscene. He gets pissed off and throws the lamp straight through the screen, and then sulks. Now, what you would often do at this point is go to the map again. Go to back to begin mission. Go to the brief, and once it's loaded and you've accepted it, the disk accessing does slow things down a little bit, but now we would have to go to the team and choose next 4. Once you are out of those and out of agents within the cryo chamber, then it is game over. That's, I think, is what you're supposed to do, but like everybody else, what I always did was go to load save game and reload the previous saved game. Except of course I didn't update it after I completed the last mission, so I've now got to do the previous one again. G'day. So yeah, I've got to retake the Urals. So anyway, that is Syndicate then. Let's say it looks great, it sounds great, and it plays fucking superb. So what do I rate it? I rate this game 9 out of 10. It's considered an Amiga classic, and rightly so. It deserves that status. It is a decent game. The only reason I mark it down to only 9 out of 10 is that the disk accessing does get a bit annoying, but compared to some games it is still fairly quick at loading up the various missions. So I mean, it's not that bad. There are far worse games, you know, fucking Midwinter 2. So yeah, I mean, if you're not familiar with this game, I highly recommend giving it a bash. It may even still be available for free on Origin, so you may still be able to get the PC version without bothering with the emulator. But yeah, for the Amiga, 9 out of 10. So that is Syndicate. That brings this review to an end, and we will see you at the next one. Oh, no we won't, because there is something I've not covered. I can't believe I'll just accept this loadout quickly and say I can't remember how to, yeah, okay, yeah, P will pause it. Up here, as well as being able to select your particular agents, there's also these bars underneath. Now these will change your like adrenaline levels. So now this agent will run faster. You'll notice though it does get drained, so you can't just leave it like this. So at some point we'll have to bring them back to here. But with those settings all changed like that, the agent will run faster, will fire better. It's basically giving them a temporary boost that those upgrades, the cybernetic upgrades, would have provided. So you can actually, you know, even without having those cybernetic implants fitted, your agents can temporarily use them. Just wait for I think there's only one, oh no, there's two more coming. Okay, there can't be many more left. And now we just go to the exit point. Looks like one of my agents has wandered outside it. Where the fucking hell has Agent 1 gone? Get up here.
Mission completed.
There we go. So yeah, so there is the adrenaline bars as well, which will help you say temporarily. I don't use them all that often. I usually just wait for the cybernetic upgrades to be made available, and then I'll try them out. Right, now I'm going to remember to save the game now that I've completed that one. Save. These, like IRA, I don't know if it's IRA or IRA, the 4 Ace and the Jello ones, they were already on the disk image. I've not even had a look at them, so I don't know what sort of state they are in. So just wait for that to finish saving. So anyway, so that is, I think, more or less everything in Syndicate there. So yes, 9 out of 10 for that one, and now that is this video done, and we will see you at the next one.